Hello, my Stampin' friends. Welcome to another episode of Scrapped and Stampin' with Candace. I am super excited to share my Halloween page with you. If you've been following along, my friends Linda, Amelia, and Rachel have all shared their ideas using the new products and even scrapbooking kit that will be coming out with Stampin' Up. Oh, sorry, wind is blowing things away. Um, So I'm going to switch and get started and show you what I have to share today. So I'm going to show my inspiration first, which recently I um, made a couple of cards for some different challenges called the Global Design Challenge. And you may have seen these on my pages already. And I decided to use both of the techniques that I used on these cards for my scrapbook page. And this is the first card inside here. Uh, this one is kind of a reversed die cutting that I used. And this one here is super fun if you've seen this. When you open it up, it's a little surprise. There's a monster in here. And this is using die cuts in a kind of fun, different way. Years ago, we used to call it punch art because we used punch to create something different. And now, I don't know, die art, I guess. But so these are what I am using. And I'm going to share the inspiration that I have for my double page layout really quick. And so this one here is a sketch from the Creative Scrapbooker magazine. And this one is just one that I saved on Pinterest. And I'm going to show you how I used those on my pages. Um, they've already shared a lot of the products with you. I'm going to be using a lot of the paper here, and I wanted to point these out. I know that you've kind of seen them a little bit before, but this is the die cuts that are they come in this pack. And so they're really fun, and that's actually what I used to create the mouth and the nose and stuff on my little monster. So we are going to jump in here really quick and start showing you some of the elements first before we get into actually creating the pages. So I used a lot of different things to create these. And that's one of the fun things about once you start collecting and getting products is they don't always have to be used the way they were intended. So you'll see when I start doing these, I use some of the stitched circles for the dies. I did use the two different alphabet sets here. I also used some of these dies. I think it was this one, these circles, not this one, but this one right here for my eyeballs. I used the arches to make my little characters. And then I used some stuff that you wouldn't be expecting. This is one of the new Christmas sets that's coming out. And I actually used this one right here for the circles for the eyes. And then this is really fun. This is the Tractor and Company set. It is available. It's an online exclusive, but I used this right here to create the uh, what's the word I'm looking for? The hair for my little um, monster. So that's some of the fun things that I've used, and then I've just used stamps and dies from both of these, and some of the stamps from this set is what I will be using. So we're going to jump in and show a few things. I might edit this and speed some of this up. But here is my first monster. And this one I did slightly different than I did in the card. Again, these are just the punches straight out of there. But one of the things I did to add a little bit more dimension is I just took and did what we call directly to paper. And I am just going to take and just add some ink to that. So it just has a little bit more dimension. I'm going to do that on the eyeballs as well. Oh, I forgot to mention the back of this part here. It is the truck. Sorry, the tractor. So it's the tractor die cuts is how I created the eyeballs on this particular one. And the reason I didn't use exactly the same is because I wanted this one just slightly different from the other one. And I'll show you why here in 1 second. I'm going to add some to this as well. So I am using the colors that came in that are part of the um, designer series paper, which Petunia Pop. I love the purple, just like I think it was Rachel who mentioned it. I love having the purple in it. Granny Apple Green. And so this is really quick and easy to put together now that we have um, all of our parts. I'm just going to add some glue and add these here. Oh, careful. Don't want to lose his little eyeballs. And I just think this is a uh, fun way to add something different to your pages that you wouldn't normally maybe see. Um, and my pages are actually going to be a little bit different than what you would expect as well. And that is because I have two of my boys that were born. Well, one was actually born in October, the other one was born November 1st. So we have had quite a few um, Halloween themed birthday parties. So I'm actually going to be doing a Halloween themed birthday page and not a Halloween page, but this could very easily be a Halloween page as well. So there we have our cute little monster. This one I already have done. I'll move it here, mostly because it took quite a bit longer. And so for this one here, I have just taken strips of paper and I used my blending brush and I just did each one of those I did it with crumb cake and then I used the directly to paper with the pecan pie to create this little guy. And then I just laid them all on there. And then I did actually run it through the thing. If you look really close, I don't know if you can see my boards have gotten a lot of texture on it and I added some additional texture to this because it's super thick because I placed it on a piece and then I recut it out again. But so there's my little mummy. And I wanted to do those eyes with the way I had done them on the first one. And so that's why I wanted this one to be a little bit different. Now, really quick to show you how I added the white in the eyes, I just grabbed one of our little uh, our white pens. It's not quite dry yet. Not pens, um, pencils, the watercolor pencil to add that. Now I do have one more small little one here, and this little guy is really fun. Sorry, I'm going to grab the little pieces. So this is the in here, you can get these little web pieces. So that's what I've used to cut this one out. And we're going to grab our basic gray here. And we're going to, oops, wrong side, do the same thing. Now this one, I did do a little bit smaller. I didn't want it as long as the thing. And I'll show you really quick if you haven't done it before. So I ran this one through, and you can see that it's longer. But then once I had it done, I went and put this one here, and I only put my thing about this far, made sure that it went into the little dots here. And I only went about this far so I could cut the bottom of it off to make that a little bit shorter. I technically didn't have to do that because of the layout. I ended up not needing it, but I wasn't sure when I was making it. So that's what I had done here. And then we're gonna add this to a little back. Hopefully you can figure out what I'm making here. Um, and we'll add the little eyes. really quick. And yeah, I just used different sizes of circles that I could find. Again, if you have old punches or different dies, old dies, it's really fun to just see what you can come up with. I have some on my Pinterest board that are really old, but I have Goofy and Donald Duck and Mickey Mouse. So it's kind of fun to just see what else you can come up with. So then now we have a little bat. I'm going to move all these little guys aside for a minute and show you. Oh, I forgot to add the white on his eyes really quick. I used to have a white gel pen that worked really nice for that. You can buy them. I just didn't have one handy, so I used this instead. It works. All right. Now, the other thing I wanted to show you was this part right here. So rather than, I'll show you on here, my eek. So rather than putting the paper on here and then taking and putting this on top of it, I decided I was going to use the reverse. Um, so simple and easy. I cut them all out, and I pre-did this because it takes a little bit to cut them all out. I'll show you kind of the last one here. I'm going to just add some glue. And this is how I did the card, wherever it went. This is how I did this card here. And I'm going to show you a little trick with the boo here in 1 second. Like I said, I might speed this up. I don't know. Okay, this one's going here, and this one's going to go here. And voila, that's what we have in the end. And so let's show you on this one here. Grab my little one here. So on the back on this one, you'll notice this one I didn't do it, but on the back, because I need to fill the boot in, I liked it better that way. I did use some of our two-sided sticky paper thing, adhesive sheets, that's what they're called, here. So I'm just gonna place my boo. I'm gonna place my little spider here. I didn't care if they were perfect. Just kind of placed them on there. You could use washi tape or post-it notes to hold it in place if you want to make sure that they're nice and straight. I wasn't too worried about it. So once we pull this out of here, it's gonna, we'll have this here. So what I'm going to do first is I am going to take the extra off of here. You can see I didn't do it on the very first one. So I thought about it afterwards, which is great because I can kind of show you the difference on how you're going to attach the two. Here, I'm going to take this one off, and then we're going to add some glue to the rest of this and do the same thing to create our fun little element. Oh, I forgot to take the spider out. That would be helpful. And I did end up with a bunch of little spiders and boos, so who knows exactly what I'll be making with those. um, and, okay, hang on 1 second. We're going to put the boo on, the orange on first. And I'm just using that designer series paper. Um, and it's just a fun way to make those pop. So now this one here, I'm going to poke the center out here. I'm going to poke the boo out. And because it has that sticky on it, it's going to be super easy to use the boo on a different project because it's already got stuff. But I'm going to put it in here, and I'm going to take the sticky off the middle parts. And just stick them right in here. Oh, see if I can line that up correctly. So I'm using it as my outline to make it super simple and easy to place my the rest of them. Um, and last piece, stick that one in there, and then I can pop this part out carefully. All right, I the other one here, I would still put this one in, and then I would use the glue to put it in, like so. Boom, you can glue the other ones in. So now we have those elements all ready to go. I'm going to move them back up here and out of the way. One of the other things I did was the little, sorry, there's a little haunted house in here, and I've just added some yellow behind it and just cut in some little squares to make that element as well. I do have one more that I did here, and this one I just took a plain um, piece of the yellow, and I'm going to finish it off by adding the wrong one. Where'd my color go? Daffodil's light. Here we go. I'm going to just stamp some of these little stars all over the back. I could have done this beforehand, but I hadn't decided for sure what I wanted to do. So, and you'll see how kind of these all go together here in a minute. So again, same thing on this one. I just used the little bats from this and I just kind of placed them along here and cut them out. And then I'm going to add some glue. And yes, it does mean I have a bunch of yellow bats. Part of the advantage of not stamping till after is those yellow bats that are cut out do not have the stamping on it if I didn't want the stamping on it. So I'm going to add the black to the background. I did look at doing one of the designer papers behind this, and I just didn't like it as well. I liked the black bats. So one of the things I do love, I love this ribbon. And this is one of my pictures here, and something I like to do sometimes, and I forgot. Um, and so I've just cut a piece of this ribbon, and I'm going to put glue dot on each side here. And I am just going to put it around here for the page. I Like I said, I am making actually a birthday page instead of a Halloween page. So I've pre-cut out my birthday here. And this one here is the dies from the spooky Halloween. And now that I think about it, I just thought about this. I am going to add this really quick to my um, background here. So I've just kind of stamped out, I've punched that out or die cut that, sorry. And I'm going to stamp this right on here just to give it a little bit more texture. And then I cut it out again. So I cut the same one out and I've just cut it in half and spread it a little bit to give it kind of that little extra. And I did use the adhesive sheets on my letters, and I'm just using a piece of I've just cut a strip of the masking sheet um, that I have placed my letters on to line them all up. And it makes it really quick and easy to put them all down at one time. All right, so I'm just going to place that, hopefully line it up straight. And I'm going to very carefully pull this back, hopefully. The nice thing about using the masking is it is designed to like pull off of your image and not ruin your image. Okay, and then I've used the spooky from here, but I've also used the dies, this die here, and I've just cut it. And I'm actually going to pop this up just a little bit here. Wasn't sure exactly where it was going to go. Oh, don't get out of where it's supposed to be. And so I'm going to add just a tiny bit of glue right here. And I'm going to put the spooky right there. And then this one here, I've used the other letters, the little smaller ones that we can get. Comes all in one sheet, not individual, but you can cut just little sections, which is what I usually do. Um, and then I can just place out and cut the exact letters that I want. And I'm going to place the fun right here. So it says spooky birthday fun for my title. And I'm going to carefully pull this off. Then I am going to cut this here. I'm actually going to take it and put it across the Y and go under the A. So I'm going to add a little bit of glue here and here. And I'm going to slip that under the A. So we have spooky birthday fun for our title. How cute is that? All right. So now here's the magic for putting our pages together. We're going to start with this one right here. And I've just got some of our Granny Apple Green. This is our two-sided. So you could use either side. I'm going with the darker side for my page here. And so we can see we've got our three photo sections here. And then this one did have a title, but we've used the boo. So I am actually going to be putting down, I do have some designer series paper that I'm going behind this one on. And we're going to have our eek with our spiders and our boo with our spiders going along here. And we're just going to add a little bit of glue. All right. And then I have my three pictures, and I did mat them just a little bit. I have to go through my pictures and find some of the ones I didn't have a chance to look. We're just gonna go here. We're gonna put this one over here. All right, and then we're gonna do this little element here, which is gonna be this guy. Some dimensionals to stick him on with. This will allow me to put it so that I can still have the, oh, what's the word I'm looking for? So the picture can slide underneath it since I don't have the picture quite yet. And then I've got some of the little punches here. Oh, before I finish that, we are going to add some of these little stars here. And I forgot, this needs to go under here. So this is from the designer paper and it goes longer, but I didn't have enough room for it longer. So I'm just using the smaller place that allows a little bit of room for journaling. And we're just going to put that right tucked up underneath there. And then we're going to add a little bit more elements over here. And I've tied in that ribbon by tying it across the potion. Goes right there. And I'm going to use some of the spiders that we cut out. Add in little spiders here. And I have one more saying I want to add. I'm going to use the Too Cute to Spook. These are from, some of these elements are from here. The this is the set that will be coming out. Make sure it's good and inked. In just a couple days, I think. And one last thing, we're going to add our little bat up here, and I'm going to just tuck him underneath. So I'm going to add some glue here. I'm just going to tuck him underneath so he can go right there. So that page, almost finished. We're going to add a few more of the little candies. Now, I did have the little bats. I thought about putting them on, but I decided I didn't want that. So there is that page. Oh, I almost forgot this guy. He's supposed to go like right here. So we're going to add some dimensionals so that we can add him on. I knew I was missing something. There we go. So there's that page. Again, my inspiration here. And move this one out of the way, and we're going to pull this one over so we can see this one. Now, this time I am going to get these stamped beforehand because I am covering most of this. So I want these kind of around the side before I put my papers on. So I'm going to move that out of the way here. So I have got several different papers. So where did my page go? So for this one, I did change it up quite a bit, but I'm kind of using this idea back here, and I'm going to be layering my different papers across here. So we're going to layer all of these along here. So that we have our different layers. Now this one, I liked adding just a little bit to it. And yes, I could have cut it so that I didn't have to because I had originally cut it, but I liked this added to it and I liked it right on the paper. So that is what we're going with. And you'll notice that they're all kind of different sizes. This one here, there is a die, and I thought about using it, but there's also the paper. So instead of using this side with the die, I decided just to use the paper that was already designed. This one's kind of fun. The paper is cut up into different strips that you could use. So, and yes, I could use a ruler. We're going to attempt to just kind of eyeball this. Hopefully I can get it down fast enough that I can move it if I need to a little bit. All right. Then to finish our elements off, so I went with a big picture because I had 3 on the other one here. So we are going to be going with this one here. Gotta remember how I lined all this up. So I have my spooky birthday fun here, and we're going to add some dimensionals for that one. Put that right here. And then we've got our little guy here and this one here. Add some glue. And pop this one up. And I did forget one other thing that I wanted to add to both of the pages. If I can remember where I put it. I'm gonna add some of these foam stars. I'm gonna add the black one. There we go. There's that page. Didn't follow it quite as much as I did my other one, but and there's that one. We're going to add some stars to this one as well. I think we're going to use some white ones. All right, we'll move this so you can see them both. Super cute birthday Halloween themed page. Hopefully you enjoyed that. But and hopefully you are inspired by my page or by some of the other people. Next month, I'm not positive what we have coming up. I think we're all doing the same picture, but I'm not positive. I can't remember for sure. But join us each month. We have a new theme, different ideas, different takes on the project, so you have lots of ideas, and I hope you're following and playing along. Thanks again for joining me, and I hope you have a STEM-tastic day.